welcome everyone to, what is this, the third episode of Masks of Nyarlathotep. Not Nyarlathotep. I'm not sure what. Josh, what is Nyarlathotep? I don't know.
Must be one of the other old ones. Maybe it's Nyarlathotep's, like, second cousin, twice removed.
Right. On its sister's side.
Yeah. Whichever one is the sister.
Do we want to meet Nyarlathotep's sister? I don't think so.
I mean,
are we compared to like the big baddie? Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, in theory, it's being that this is, maybe she's cute. Probably not.
I mean, listen, fingers crossed.
No, I'm gonna go with no.
Tentacles crossed.
Yeah.
All 7,000 tentacles
crossed. I mean,
no, that's so much crossed appendage energy.
Do we see the symbol that the followers, gouged into someone's forehead?
Yeah, but that's not of the sister.
That's not the sister symbol, right?
Right.
Hers might be a heart with like a little arrow through it, like
who knows?
It could be.
Yeah,
it could be real cute.
Wishful
as
thinking.
long as the heart is still beating, and blood is squirting out the ends of like the various. No, that's way too cute of a heart. Sorry.
Curses. It's just too cute.
That's too cute.
Add some tentacles.
And some tentacles and some blood
Then we'll
squirting out, and maybe we can go with that.
Which is like, hey Josh, step up your emoji game.
You got to get extremely complex to accurately emoji the chthonic,
It's just like a glitch across the screen, honestly. It's like, oh, here it is. Like,
you have to Zalgo everything, including the emojis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we need to get some custom artwork for that going right now, so I can buy the break. By the break, I can replace the image of the whatever that scar thing is to our new sister image.
Yeah. Yes. So all commission artists, chop.
Yeah, whoever wants to draw this nightmare thing.
I mean, if you want to take this madness into your own psyche and,
right,
expel it upon the world.
Yeah. Take one for the team.
Like you do. Like we do.
Yeah, like we're doing.
Yeah, then you could resemble Gussie's level of mental health.
Hell yeah. The level is bad.
Yes.
The level
profoundly.
Is dangerously bad.
But we do get to do sanity rolls, right?
Not sanity, luck.
That's right.
That's okay.
Well,
everybody can roll their d10s. Let's get some luck.
I do have a question. Like, if Gussie loses her memory or something, would she forget all of the terrible things?
Why isn't this working?
I got all the luck, obviously.
Oh, so much luck. Wow, me and you, much luck.
You beat me out, so I don't know what you're complaining about.
Why aren't they working?
162. Well, I rolled a 3 for whoever's interested, and Patty rolled a 2, so
And Sai rolled a fantastic 10.
Oh, wow.
I did.
Yeah, our doctor is just rolling in it.
Well,
rolling in the luck.
We might need it.
Kyle, we just did some luck roll.
Go.
Want to roll a d10?
All right. Yep. Sorry, just dealing with puppy problems here.
Naturally.
We all got puppy problems. It's understandable.
Yeah, 10 luck. Who got 10 luck? Sai?
Yeah.
10 luck? Man.
Yeah.
I have to find a reason for you guys to spend some of that today.
Oh man, Kyle rolled really well with luck too. It's just me and Mac that can't roll for shit.
Don't put me on the bricks. Don't tell people I rolled well. Just let it be.
No. We all go down together.
Oh yay! Good, perfect.
So, as I recall, when we last played, the group had just left the Juju house.
The Juju house, yes.
And Gussie had said, oh, more or less, I might be paraphrasing, if you guys happen to be the big, bad, evil guys and stuff, this is my address, come kill me.
I thoroughly trust this old man with my life, which is, I'm sure, a terrible idea, but something in my
Very
bones
bad
is like,
idea.
I like this guy and trust him. And if I die, you guys will have a good lead onto who did it. You're welcome.
You trust him knowing that he's a counterfeiter by trade.
Yes.
Like, he
Yes,
is
he did.
fabricating artifacts and selling them as if they are genuine. That is his
Everyone
job.
knows they're
The
fake.
thing is, the one thing that you can count on a dishonest man to be is dishonest.
See, and
Honestly.
he was a little dishonest because we used our eyeballs to look at him real hard, and he was just a little dishonest.
Just
So
a
I don't
little,
think
but,
that's
like,
murder
you can
me in the
trust
night.
a man to be dishonest who is dishonest.
Yeah.
There's a level of trust
So
already there.
it kind of negates itself. He's trustworthy. I stand by my choice.
It's perfect.
Oh, the new keeper's back.
Oh
Oh,
goodness.
Oh, hello, new keeper. Good to see you.
Welcome.
Where can we give you your weekly dues of fancy feast and kibbles?
I don't know if we should be bribing. This doesn't sound very ethical.
Yeah, this one definitely prefers proteins.
Proteins.
Yeah.
So it's the tuna.
I have a
Tuna's
cat.
good.
I have a cat that dislikes fish, so just checking that this
He
cat's
likes chicken. He likes chicken quite a bit.
Oh my.
We got this game in the bag, guys.
Canned
Yeah.
chicken? Hell yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
He's a really big fan of Raising Cane's chicken fingers.
Ooh, see,
Oh wow.
we have a game plan now, guys.
He,
We're getting out of this alive.
for those of you that are why can't I think of the other Chick-fil-A? Those of you that are Chick-fil-A fans, he's not a Chick-fil-A fan. He's
Oh, dear.
decidedly Raising Cane's.
There you go. See, this cat sensible. Hard opinions. At me on Twitter.
Also a solid queer ally. I respect it.
Thank you, new fluffy DM, for your
Yes.
allyship.
We appreciate you, fluffy small DM. Thank you.
And he left me.
Curses! We
I
bribed
guess
him too
stick
well.
with the original DM. That's fine.
Yeah. So, and if I remember right, Avery was calling out the same shop owner on having counterfeit goods.
we also are we still there? Was that what we
No,
left
you
off
guys
with? We
the
left.
part, on your way home, back to the hotels.
Oh, good. What time is it? I'm guessing it's later then.
It's just about dinner time.
Well, we should have a dinner and we should make our game plan for tomorrow.
Well, we have the funeral tomorrow, but
All right. Yeah, we do.
we have some plans, but afterwards, I suppose.
I just want to call out that I was not calling out the shopkeeper. I was just letting them know that we are not rubes. We are we know what we're looking for, and little
Nah, we
tchotchkes
rubes.
and cheap counterfeits are not what we're after. We're into the
Bamboozle
genuine
me.
article. Fine and discerning tastes amongst our party.
Yes. So, Avery and Gussie, it's the evening before your friend's funeral. What are you doing? Getting ready
Avery's
for it?
drinking.
Is his
That
death
sounds
like
about
hit
right.
you? Or is it kind of not hit you?
I feel like there's something about when you're working, it's very easy to put everything into that. And it's the moments when one is not working that it starts to hit a bit harder, especially when the void in your mind has become so incredibly deep. But besides the terrible void that Gussie is just pushing through, she would have also at some point gone out, because it's not like she walks around with funeral clothes in her suitcase. So she would have went out and bought something to wear for the funeral, because she has a little bit of class.
Anything from her sister.
Well,
I
it's the
don't
night
know if she
before,
could
so
fit in. I don't know if she could fit.
yeah. So it's the evening before, and it is New York, so there is plenty of places for you to go find something.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's you have not actually taken the time to do that. You guys have been doing other things. So, Avery, are you also going to be looking for funeral attire?
I imagine Avery did bring uh, an outfit that is probably suitable to wear to a funeral. Men's formal clothes. Avery being he's not going out in a zoot suit. That's not his style anyways. So like he would probably have brought a pretty conservative formal outfit that would be suitable to wear to a funeral. Maybe if we could find a haberdasher somewhere along the way and pick up a hat, a bowler cap or something like that that would complement his ensemble. But he doesn't need to buy a whole outfit.
All right, fair. Iori and Patty, are we planning on attending the funeral also then?
Patty
Yeah.
definitely is. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Patty, you've got your full wardrobe, so that's good to
Basically.
go. But Iori, you also most of your stuff is a couple
Yeah,
hundred
I
miles away.
definitely have not anticipated a funeral, although it's like, so I'm gonna have to go shopping for some funeral wear.
Do they need somebody to help them in that regard?
That's fine. I mean, we could all just go together, have like a funeral makeover.
Yeah, let's all go to the Sears, and we all
Was there a Sears in the 1920s?
maybe Sears. I feel like
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Hey, we're in New York though, so probably Macy's or Gimbels is probably more. If we were in Chicago, Sears would be the thing, but yeah, Macy's or Gimbels for New York, I think.
I refuse to shop anywhere but Sears.
I don't know if they were they selling clothes already at that? I think they were. They were already selling clothes.
I believe that
Oh, you
we
could
can
get anything
find
through
a
Sears
place.
catalog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Everything in the Sears catalog. So you spend a couple hours, end up back at the hotels. Do you go to the Chelsea where Iori and Avery are at to kind of have an end of the day discussion, or
I think that
kinda
is our
go your
like
separate
home.
ways, or what are we doing here?
I mean, I'm at a different hotel.
You are.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Are we splitting off? Yeah, I mean it's getting pretty late, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
I plan to go back to my hotel. If there's anything that you need to tell me before the funeral, happy to hear.
yes, before everyone disperses, I will say, well, before we all retreat to sleep, I'm not the only one, I hope, that has considered while we are at the Juju house to see what happens there at night.
Hmm.
I mean, it seems quite dangerous for sure, but it might be worth something to try. If there's nothing, I mean, we could. How do you say? Translocate into the premises where we could do a search.
Well,
You're advising a breaking and entering.
Well, it's an uninvited.
So a
Intrusion.
breaking and entering.
But I do think the good doctor has something of a point, if only because, well, it seemed pretty clear to me that the gentleman
must
running
be
the
some
stand
sort of-
had some kind of something going on.
I would be I'm going to be straightforward with you. I'm glad that you brought this up and didn't just decide to do it on your own. That is appreciated. I would say I think it is incredibly dangerous, as you stated prior, and I think that is the main point. We have somewhere to be tomorrow, and we have no probable cause to suspect them, and then we end up incredibly suspicious while there are murderers about.
Yeah. Not exactly clean nose sort of behavior. But I do think that investigating the Juju house further would be worthwhile. Somehow or another, at the very least. But we can discuss that potentially at another time. As we've said, we do have an appointment quite early, and best to get our rest, I suppose.
What time is the funeral, by the way?
It's at 2 p.m.
Okay.
Oh, never
That's
mind
pretty-
then.
We can still have lunch.
I still
can.
don't think we should do a sting
No.
tonight.
I perhaps a sting the night before our good friend's funeral is perhaps not the most well-advised way to
It
say
could be
things.
the night after.
Maybe.
And also
Yeah, that looks
something
a
to
lot
keep in mind, just to have it as a thought. I still believe we all looked incredibly suspicious, and it's possible someone could be watching us. So I think that is something to keep in mind, that if we decide we're going to go, break into a place, that we are certain that is what we want to do and it's worth the risk.
Good note. Good note, I think.
I think so as well. I'm going to head back for the night unless there's anything else.
Well, I just wanted to let the lot of you know that I've been thinking about possibly calling in my talents to try and get some additional details about what happened to our late departed friend.
I have no qualm with that.
And you need to be near the body, right?
I don't think I really do. Well, not to put too fine a point on it, I've either spent an ungodly amount of time near secret cemeteries, or I've not been strictly limited by distance.
All right.
Okay.
Whatever you think
Well-
is best, whether the cemetery or the hotel, I think either is acceptable.
I think at a distance from the cemetery itself might be for the best, although if it were possible for me to get into the hotel room itself, it might be that the presence could be stronger, might
Well,
be
do you
easier
think
to get in
they-
contact.
You think they fixed the door? It's possible not.
It's worth looking, although it's up to you all if you want to try it now or if we want to wait till things calm down some more after the funeral.
I personally think we should wait until after the funeral, but that's
Um,
just my opinion.
I think maybe one at a time. Let's wait after the funeral. We could also try to rent a room that is beside that room or
Yes,
above the
please
room.
give me this specific
Very
room, please.
I will be there and I will locate the specific rooms and which ones are vacant.
Well, next to Yori, that's very kind, but I do think that that would be information that could be known to the police quite easily and would make us look very suspect.
There is something to be said for perhaps using any avenue we could prior to the funeral, in that it might be worth keeping an eye out for anything that's discovered in our investigations while we're at the funeral. If we are pointed by your talents towards any certain individual, and I apologize for my dogs in the background, they're losing their minds.
Dog's gonna dog.
Yeah, so if there anything is revealed by your talents, it might be worth keeping an eye out while we're at the funeral to see if any of them
Like
show
people
up.
people to pay attention to, perhaps. I think that details to keep in mind that we might be able to notice in the funeral.
So are you implying that we do this tonight?
It couldn't hurt, and we do have 2 rooms in the Chelsea, closer to the place where this took place, that we could safely make this happen.
I have a question for the storyteller,
Yes.
the keeper.
The fluffy one or me?
Presently the one who can speak English.
All right. Fair enough.
We'll see if the other one learns. Do you think that Patty would feel pretty confident that she could undertake a seance of a sort from a different room from the one in which our dearly departed friend was killed?
If his spirit is lingering,
Mm-hmm.
then it's lingering and you'll be able to reach out to it. If
Okay.
it isn't lingering, then who knows what spirits you'll talk to if you manage to talk to some spirits. But yes, if his spirit is lingering, it would be better. The closer you are to either his body or his place of death, being the places most likely that he would be lingering if he is lingering.
Mm-hmm.
But it's is his spirit lingering?
Yeah, that is kind of the dominant question. Although Patty feels like it's not bad odds that a man killed violently by murder cultists might possibly have some unfinished business on this mortal coil. You know, it's
Yeah.
a hunch. It's a hunch.
It's a hunchy hunch.
I think that I could do at least a look from Mr. Avery's room, even. Honestly, I wouldn't have to get into the suspected room on the off chance that there are any officers or plainclothes keeping an eye on the spot. And if he is still around, and if we can get some news about who to look out for, and if they show tomorrow, then at least we'll be prepared.
All right.
Another question for the keeper, and this would be something we would know. Are either Mr. Yori or Avery's rooms on the same side of the building as Elias's was?
Make a luck roll.
I'm on the opposite end on the top floor.
Oh,
Yours is
meanwhile,
practically so
Mr. Avery
yours is
Emerson.
not on the same floor, but it's practically directly below it.
You're actually in
That's-
that room. You just didn't realize that it is your room.
You shared a room.
You had no idea.
You're like,
You were
I swear
roommates
the
all
person was in
along.
there. They were roommates.
They were roommates.
So there is also the possibility if we needed to. It seems like my room is directly above, a couple of floors above Elias's room. If we needed access to that room for whatever reason, for additional investigation, we could just take the fire escape down.
I mean, you could actually do it at the fire escape. Okay, no, that's not safe. We don't want.
The fire escape is rather icy.
Yeah. I now that if this is what people want, I see no reason in getting it over with.
Well, it would be not too long. I believe.
I can assume, Avery, you may have drink in your room, or do you need to go down to the bar to get something?
I have all I need.
All right.
All right. Let's phone a ghost, I guess.
All right, Patty, you get into Avery's room. What are you
Mhm.
doing to get yourself prepared to try to talk to Elias Jackson's ghost?
Patty's never done this in front of people, like, on purpose before. So if anybody is, like, in the room while she's doing it, she's maybe kind of, like, trying to blinders herself and sort of just like, it's just like it's an audition. It's fine. She's, getting together a stiff fifth of whatever liquor is easiest to hand. Probably.
So
gonna-
Avery actually went out before everything happened with Elias and bought a bottle of Glenfiddich to give
do
to him as a
recall.
gift.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So
Ooh,
Avery's-
Glenfiddich. Ooh.
Avery's going to pour himself a glass, pour Patty a glass, and then he's going to pour an empty glass, or he's going to pour an additional glass and just set it at the table as if it for Elias, as if Elias were going to be joining us. And then while Patty makes the rest of her preparations, I mentioned prior that Avery had either clumsily or drunkenly or out of rage broken a mirror at some point a few nights ago. So he's going to sweep up the rest of that glass and he's going to put it on his windowsill in preparation for the night so that if anybody does try to come in through the window like they did before, they'll have a sharp and hopefully loud surprise for them.
So who's all in the room? Is it just Avery and Patty?
Oh, I'm sure it's all of us.
Yeah, we're
That
all in the
makes
We
room.
all crowded into the room.
Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. That's cool.
I will
That's-
say, even though we can tell Patty's uncomfortable, the second Gussie's in, she is locking the door, checking it. She goes over to the window, makes sure it's locked. And then like she turns towards the mirror and sees that Avery's just sweeping up like pieces of it and is like, okay. And then doesn't address it. Looks like she was going to go towards it and it's like, oh, good. And then is going to find herself a seat in the corner and she's going to wait.
Fair. So
Go ahead.
you start to drink.
Yep. First fifth down because this has to be very potent, very quick for it to work. And Patty will also kind of crack the window a bit and light up a hand-rolled cigarette by the window. She's conscientious.
It's just Gussie went up and locked it, and then it's just like, no,
No,
I have to
it's like,
smoke.
just give me a second. I gotta finish.
I'm letting you finish. I'm just
That's
make sure it's locked.
I will before I will. All right. So this should only take a couple of minutes. Just give me a little silence and I'll get this started.
So how many of your magic points are you putting into this attempt to contact Elias?
Remind me what the replenishment mechanic is for magic points.
It's very quick.
Okay.
You'll have them back. You'd have them back in a couple hours.
Oh, in a couple of hours?
Yes.
Oh, fine. Blowing the whole thing,
Yeah.
baby. All 13 points. Gimme.
Yeah.
I'm sure this won't be bad. Very
Mr.
good.
Jackson Elias, I wish to speak with you specifically, sir. Please. I have
Yeah.
13 points
So-
with which to pay for.
That gives you a 65% chance of contacting a spirit, assuming there's one nearby to contact. So you can just make a power check.
All right. 1 power check. Here we go.
So,
Can you use luck points or push
you
it?
can use luck, or
I
you can
can.
push the roll.
No,
God, pushing
use
it
luck.
sounds like a nightmare.
Is there anything?
You should do it. You should.
Is there anything Avery can
Okay,
do to
push
help
it.
if
Actually,
he's
if you
if he's
push
like
it-
Totally
keeping
push
her
it.
glass full as she's doing this or something like
Well,
that?
I mean, that would be a logical way to say she's going to push her roll. Is if, you're going to
Get extra sloppy.
you're
Or
going to
throw
down some
down
more
20
alcohol
luck
and just
points.
like, man, this isn't working out. I'm going to push
I
the
feel like
roll.
this is important. I
But,
feel like you should push if you.
Or you can spend the 20 luck and make it a success.
Yeah. Either way, one of these options I think needs to happen. But it's up.
I agree. Both of them hurt me deeply.
Well, if you push and fail the roll,
Mm-hmm.
then we'll see where this goes. There's definitely going to be some form of consequence if you push and fail.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm not.
or 20 luck points is a lot of luck to throw on one roll. But you can't spend the luck if you push.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a toughie.
Oh,
Oh, well,
this hurts
If
me.
you push, there's a chance of extreme success and hard success. Whereas if you use luck, you just get a success.
Okay.
I mean,
This is, whatever you want.
Okay, I'm gonna push the roll and have me 2 more fifths.
yeah.
I'm sorry I'm busting through it so fast, but it's important.
You can do it. Oh my
Got
god.
it.
Patty pushes the roll. She drinks deep.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Avery, you're a little concerned with the amount of alcohol she's consumed for her body weight.
I'm going 1-to-1 with her. She's not doing this by herself.
This is a good idea. Half the party.
Hold on.
be
I should have
sitting-
prepared some IVs and rehydrators for this.
Yori just like in the corner. Ugh, like just thinking
I
about
have to
it.
get
right
a kit. Amazing.
All right. Push the roll.
So I roll power again?
Yes.
All right. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Goodness
come
sake.
on,
Either
come
way,
on.
I think it's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, either way.
Sure, fine. See? Okay, I'll take it. 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 I'll take it.
It's a
Yes.
success.
Lostrovia.
It is a success. You feel a happy man. He's jovial and relaxed. It says, and you recognize, although you've never met this man, his voice is deep and gravelly, just like they told you Elias was. And he says, why do you talk to me now?
Well, Mr. Elias, I wanted to make sure that we could keep other people safe from the people who did you harm.
I am safe now, but yes, my friends, they are the ones in danger.
We're so sorry we couldn't be here sooner.
I knew. I knew. It's Jonas has everything.
Jonas. Do I remember the name? Is that his publisher?
That is his publisher.
Okay. I mean, Patty might not remember it being 3/5 in, but we'll see. All right, Jonas. Jonas, okay. We'll talk with Jonas, I promise you that. We got the papers that you wanted to show us the other night, too.
It's good. This, make sure it's all about the Carlisle Expedition.
The Carlisle Expedition.
Yes. Don't forget the Carlisles.
Are they starting an expedition soon, or did they take one previously?
It was what I was researching initially. Roger Carlisle, his expedition.
Roger Carlisle, okay. All right. Where was his expedition headed? Was it Egypt?
Africa.
Okay. Africa. Place to start. All right.
Kenya.
In Kenya. Okay. Okay. And let me see. We looked up Silas Nkwane, who runs the Juju House.
Yes.
Is he tied in with that expedition?
Be careful.
Of Silas?
I don't know. But you are following my trail.
Yeah. And, it's a dangerous one. I see.
The
We'll do.
Carlisles. There's something wrong about that.
What is the wrong?
I think they lived.
Huh.
You sense him slipping away.
Elias, we'll do what we can. Is there anything else you need to tell us? Anything that would help us to find the men who killed you?
And he's gone.
So we could hear her side of everything, right?
Yes.
Do we know what the Carlisle expedition was?
You know that the initial telegram that you got mentioned the Carlisle Expedition.
Well, if you, sucks to be y'all, I don't know how to read. Little y'all know.
Yeah. I only write, I don't read.
I can't read. Gotcha.
He's gone.
So what did you pick up?
Well,
And I haven't put that into your lists of things, so let me pull that up and post it in there for you.
oh,
Cool.
thank you.
So you have the telegram.
Yeah.
The telegram would be helpful.
Yeah, Patty, if there's anything that we wouldn't get from just hearing your side.
He's happy now. He's safe. He's at peace. Aside from that, he thinks that the Carlisles lived, which I can only assume means the general consensus was the opposite. Aside from that, he knows that the Carlisle Expedition went to Kenya. when I mentioned Silas and Kwane, he said to be careful. He wasn't sure of what. That was really the gist of it.
Mm.
I mean, I guess it means that we should be properly armed if we are to stake out the Juju house.
Yes, I feel like entering would not be a good idea unless very necessary. And it's possible with certain abilities, as we know, sometimes you can't just enter a place.
Mm. Yeah.
So, within the past 2 years or so, Avery has been in British East Africa, Kenya and Tanzania. Does he know anything about this? Would he have heard any news of?
Make an idea check, which is an
Okay.
intelligence roll.
Okay, I like those.
The Carlisle Expedition, you don't remember a great deal, but it was a big to-do. It was a well-funded expedition into the heart of Kenya, and what you recall was that officially there was that all members of the party were lost, that there was a belief that they were all killed in some kind of tribal ritual in Kenya.
Okay.
Um,
And do I know what year that happened or what year that would have taken place?
you have an idea that 5 years ago, give or take.
All right. Well, there were Brits in Kenya that were supposed to have been taken, sacrificed or killed in some local ritual. Stories like that spread among the locals to try and keep the Brits away from them. I'd never given much credence to them. Locals that I've had dealings with on safari and on hunts have been cooperative, if not a bit suspect, but I've never seen anything to point to any sort of backwards sacrifices. But my memory's not in the best place, as I was just drinking with Patty this whole time.
It was it definitely was a global story for a period of time. 1919.
1919.
So we're going on 6
Would it
years
have been would it have been ubiquitous enough news to be on like every headline, every newspaper, everybody's
Every
chatting
newspaper
about it?
definitely carried the story.
Okay. Maybe not top billing, but at the very least carried the story. There was some newspaper some years ago. I didn't pay much attention to it at the time. I was focused on a show that I was in, but if it's the same thing, I seem to recall reading a story about that. But yes, you're right. The report said that all the members of the party had been killed.
I always chalked it up to incompetence of colonizers. Some pasty white Scottish boys find themselves in the middle of the Sahara, not Sahara, but in the middle of the savannah,
in the brush.
In the brush, in the bush, in the dry season, and find themselves running out of water or food or both. There's plenty to kill you in Kenya without tribal violence.
Mm-hmm.
But the disappearance of a party like that.
If you wanted to go look for articles, you could go back to the library or any of the local newspapers and go through their archives and dig up
Mixter Yori and I are very talented at going to this particular library, so after the funeral, or even before, it may not be the worst idea to go check it out.
I'd be
I
happy to
don't
accompany you as
disagree.
well.
I mean, the more library searchers, the better.
I might actually like to look up some of Mr. Elias's previous works, see whether or not perhaps he happened to include any helpful descriptions or illustrations that might help us to suss out anyone who might turn up at the funeral wearing some calling card.
While you were talking to Elias, you mentioned his publisher.
Yes. He said that he had everything. He knows everything. He's got stuff for us. Thank you for that. I'd almost forgotten.
See, my favorite part of this is like you guys are talking pretty casually, but I'm just imagining Mixter Yori and Gussie just watching you guys talk and just slowly getting drunker and drunker. Listen, when they went to Kenya, it's like, oh yeah, he has everything. Like, oh yeah, guys, yeah, you guys got it. Good job, everybody.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
You guys
Yeah,
are good. You should lay down and drink some
Patty,
water.
Patty passes out.
Woo!
Well, I fully do not think I could carry her back to my hotel. Both of you are in this hotel. Who wants a roommate?
I'll take the couch tonight, and I'll try my best. I think I could still lift her. I may walk with a limp, but I think I could still get her onto the bed rather than.
You just okay.
You know, just a big old pile of firewood.
We just watch. We're like, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, you got this. It's fine.
Lift with your knees.
Mixter Yori and Gussie just spectating and giving advice from the sideline.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably the worst advice you could give Avery because most
lift
people,
from your
lift
injured knee, right
Yeah,
from
with
the
the injured knee.
Yeah,
And he's
I got
drunk.
one of them.
How can you do that? He won't remember.
Yeah,
Why does my leg hurt so bad?
She
if
is
you have
deadly.
problems, just I'll give my room. You know my room number.
I
You can
do
phone
not.
me.
I do not know
I'll-
your room number.
Write it
I'll
down.
give my room number. I don't think she is drunk as that much to have some serious issues, but just in case.
Very well. I appreciate
You're
that.
pretty sure she's gonna be hung over tomorrow.
Oh dear. I'll be back when that happens.
She
Actually,
drank.
what time is it? Can I go to the drugstore and buy some medicine for this?
She
Probably
was
some hair of the dog.
yeah, she hammered it.
Mhm.
You think she was pushing the line between on alcohol poisoning?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be so. Um, I should probably get some medicine just to be ready when she wakes up.
It's late. I'll come with you.
Okay. Is
Gussie
there a
locks
nearby
the window
drugstore?
because she knows that shit's not locked.
But surprise! Patty locked it before she went to do her seance. She promised you she would.
Oh no, I don't trust her.
Well, that's fair. You can check it, but it's locked.
She 100% checks it.
All right, when they leave Avery's room, Avery's gonna take a chair and not prop it underneath the doorknob, but he's gonna place it in front of the door, and he's gonna set the glasses they were drinking on the chair so that if somebody opens the door in the night, chair gets tipped over, glasses fall on the ground and break.
All right.
Last thing he's gonna do is take the drink that he had laid out for Elias, turn out the lights, and then he's going to sleep in the bathtub.
Fair enough.
You said you had a couch.
You guys are going to be fun at the funeral.
Avery is not thinking that clearly. He's in survival mode at this point. So
Yeah, and Gussie and Yori will go to the if there's probably a drugstore open a little late, get a couple things.
They are all closed at this time.
Oh damn.
I'll go back to my hotel then. We can get things in the morning.
Yes, yes.
Before I go, Mr. Yori, I wanted to say something.
Go ahead.
Like I said, I appreciate you earlier when you were telling me you worried about my well-being. If you ever keep me out of the loop again, if you keep information from me, important information, there will be consequences. I'll see you in the morning.
Yori doesn't say anything about at all.
And then
just
she gets in the elevator.
Bye.
nods at Gusty.
And Gussie's gonna get a cab and go back to her room where she locks all the doors, has her guns at the ready, and is gonna sleep like pillows propping her up.
She's gonna be fun at the funeral.
Hey,
Do you do
she's
anything
getting a
to,
good
Do
sleep.
you take any precautions, to set up?
Here's my question. So you said magic comes back, correct? Am I allowed to make my bubble?
You could certainly create your ward.
Yeah, I know I have all of my stuff's in a box, but I know I have a fun protection bubble spell.
I
Yeah.
remember you talking about the bubble spell. I believe you when you say you have it.
And how do I do said bubble spell? And how long does it last? Just as long as I have this bubble drawn?
I will have to look it up, but if you want to create said ward and protect your room, go for it.
Okay. Does it cost anything? I know I just asked that, but
I will be right back with that information.
thanks, guys. Listen,
Hey.
I just don't want to lose any of my power.
Yeah, that's
'cause
fair.
one of my things I know takes power.
Like
That's
spends
for the
power.
I think that's for the
that's for the
elder sign.
necklace. So I just don't want to risk it because last
Yeah.
time I did something without asking, I lost almost half of my sanity.
Mhm.
And
I mean,
I'm
did you
just
do
trying
it
to
without
come
asking, or
prepared.
you knew?
I will tell you, I had no idea the consequences of being like, yes, give me more book knowledge.
I don't
didn't
know. After the fourth time that it happened, I figure you would have. Hey, why am I losing?
Well, I didn't lose sanity until the very end. The people can confirm. I wasn't told till the end I lost all my sanity.
You know.
People could tell you.
There
I mean,
is
he
a-
did keep asking you, like, are you sure you
Well, I
want
knew
to
it
keep
was
reading?
like devious, but I wasn't ready to go insane. Anyways, choices were
You
made.
should have known.
I'm getting all the
It's called
details now for safety.
I think it's gonna be okay. It's only the elder sign. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like just
So,
that perpetual safety.
as is the case with many forms of magic, there is a sanity cost
Oh.
I'm still here. Sorry.
to create the ward.
Oh, just a sanity cost.
Well, the
Oh,
number of
no.
magic points you want to spend, and then a sanity cost.
Oh boy.
Okay. And is there a role associated with this?
Gussie, I think you'll be fine. Gussie would do this. She's
Yeah,
paranoid.
Gussie's insane. Is there a role associated with this?
There is no role associated with it. It's you're going to spend your magic points. Each magic point you expend is going to put 3d10 points of strength into the barrier.
Okay.
Just
And how
spend
much
one.
sanity does each point take?
Oh, the sanity
knows?
cost is flat.
Oh.
So you
I
can
even know
spend
about
all
this.
your sanity. You can spend all your magic points to create the barrier as strong as you can.
I mean,
I don't
might as
feel
well.
like that's necessary.
They
You're
come
gonna
Gosh.
back-
get it back in a few hours
yeah,
anyway.
they come
Like
back very
over.
quickly.
Yeah, like when you wake up, you're gonna have them all back.
The thing is, I worry that if I could be wrong about this, but if is it the stronger it is, the more sanity it costs?
Nope.
Or is it just an amount?
Just
oh,
it's
okay.
a one.
Flat.
Yeah, it's a one and done.
It's a flat 1d10 to
Holy
do it.
sh!
Amazing.
Hold on. What is your sanity at right
My
now?
sanity's at a 42 out of 77.
If you lose more than 6, that's when you get another temporary insanity. Oh, 5.
5?
So if I
Five.
roll a 5 or higher, I get another temporary insanity.
And at
Don't- you're-
10,
Uh-huh.
it's a serious trip to the mental ward.
Oh no! Oh no, Gussie, the night before the funeral!
This is the most tempting thing I've ever heard in my goddamn
After
life.
warning. I
It's
don't
just
know.
It's just the storyteller in me who's just like, hell yeah.
After like warning Yori, I know you're
I'm
concerned
fine,
for my
Yori.
safety.
Goes in. Here's
I-
my
I-
question.
When's the last of her spoons?
I have a last question, and then I have a decision. I've almost made my choice. Because I know it's however big you make the bubble, that's what's protected. And then also, once you finish the bubble, that's when the spell happens.
Right?
Can I draw most of a bubble? And if I feel threatened, I can just go and zhuzh the rest of it?
To cast it, you are actually going to take a number of minutes to enact this bubble.
Yeah. You know what? God. Hey, everybody in the chat.
Oh boy! No, don't turn it over to the chat.
It's
You
just
know what
Josh.
they're gonna say. It's just Josh. He wants you to die anyway.
We already pushed Patty's roll.
See, and she turned out fine.
Yeah.
You know what? I gotta say, like, I feel like
Oh, look at
this
that.
is something Gussie
Yep,
would
there it is.
do.
It is very Gussie, but also Gussie understands that things have consequences, especially
No.
now more than ever.
Uh-huh. Having said so herself to somebody else. Uh-huh.
Golly.
I mean, look, you have you have an important funeral tomorrow. What if you have an important funeral? You can't be like screwed up to an important funeral.
You're right.
Maybe
I can't show up at the
afterwards.
funeral like on a bender. You're right. If
Maybe
I die,
afterwards.
I die. Gussie has her guns, and
You can set up some traps, some Home Alone bullshit.
yeah, it's just
Frying
know me.
pans draped up near the window. Plang.
Personally, for some reason, just something in her gut, which her gut isn't always the smartest thing about her, says that she isn't that afraid of Silas. Something is just not clicking in her mind that he is a threat. And she is going to stand by that. So she has, mortal weapons, but is not going to make the bubble. Thank you for coming to my TED talk about should I lose all my sanity now or later.
Now or later.
Now or later,
It'll
no
happen
bubble.
later.
All right. Since you've made the decision, for laughs and giggles, roll the d10 to just see how many.
Yeah. Let's see what would have
Yeah,
happened.
let's see what would have happened.
Let's
You watch
see
it be a
what
1.
happened. Oh God!
You would have got a bad
would've-
impairment there.
It would have been rough. I think good choice, everybody. Good choice. Good job. Good job, everybody. Good job. Good job.
Yep. So you would have ended up with a new temporary insanity.
That's
boy.
good. The
You would have
last one
gone
was
like,
good.
running around the town all night.
An hour of losing your mind. It would have been fun.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
good stuff.
yeah.
But instead, she's just going to stick with the normal amount of lost mind that she has currently.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Plenty to
would have
spare
only been
later.
2 points away from, because
Yep. Mental hospital.
mental hospital. Yeah. So.
I
good
think it
call.
all worked out, guys.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
good
I know.
call.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I think it all turned out pretty good.
Uh-huh.
I feel pretty good about this. Good
Yep.
choice. Later.
Good.
So, Patty,
Mm.
we need to make a what is it? Constitution, body. What is that? Darn.
There's a
Constitution.
constitution.
There is a constitution. There is a strength.
No, it's
Those-
Constitution.
It is constitution. My constitution, funnily enough, is a little better than my
Yeah,
strength.
you need a hard success, not
Oh,
to
God.
be hungover.
Oh, I don't believe in Patty that hard, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Wow.
Oh!
Hell yeah.
Bulletproof.
She's like, I'm good.
Bulletproof liver.
That liver's already gone. It has
Oh
nothing-
yeah, it's way down the river already, baby.
It's on the
It's
same
only
level
down
as
from here.
Gussie's mind. Gussie's mind, Patty's liver, both
Both the
already
same.
gone.
Far down the drain.
Patty's, you are not feeling a thing the next morning.
Can't get liver poisoning if you have no liver.
Boom, boom, boom. Facts.
It's like, Patty wakes up, there's birds singing, the whatever that song is over Kilimanjaro.
Well, you
It's
burned
fine.
some of that alcohol off, during the actual, spirit.
Contacting
Yeah.
Stay on.
call thing. It's fueled by alcohol. Alcohol is a combustible fuel, therefore
Right.
it's
That's
a
what
combustible
did it.
engine.
We really should find you
How is
alternative
Avery feeling
fuels.
today.
Yeah, there has to
He
be
just has
something.
a straight roll.
Straight roll for what? I'm sorry. What do you?
Constitution.
I mean, Avery drinks like this all the time. I'm not even
Right,
sure
it's
why
just
you're
a
making me
straight
roll
roll.
for it.
Oh,
Oh,
All right, yeah,
wow.
we're good.
So close.
Yeah,
You're good.
I mean, yeah, he's fine. Maybe feeling a little bit of a headache, but not.
Well, I mean, he's getting on in years, so
Yeah.
That's just
whereas,
normal.
Patty had to hit a 25 to succeed,
Ooh, wow.
So both of them wake up. Gussie, as you suspected, Silas and Kwani was nothing to be afraid of. You woke up in the morning. Nobody came to visit you in your hotel.
You didn't wake up
I
dead.
Yeah, no, listen, if he's bad, he hasn't shown me that yet. He seems more fun than anything. But she's alive. She has to make sure she doesn't look insane and then just go about her day. She will put on her funeral clothes now, so she doesn't have to swing back by the hotel after they go to the probably going to the library in the morning.
Yes.
Oh, our alternate keeper is coming back.
Oh, hello there, Fluffy Keeper.
He's like, no, take it back. They came into her room and she's dead. New keeper's terrible.
Yeah, new
Apparently.
keepers.
All right,
Yeah.
never mind.
I will say
long
though,
enough
just
to-
because it is different, Gussie's funeral outfit does include like it is a dress. It is not pants.
Whoa, impressive.
I know you gotta zhuzh up for a funeral.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sometimes you gotta not wear pants.
Well, I mean, she could have worn a full,
she coulda.
suit with the 3-piece and the tux and the vest and the.
I feel like it was either have to try and buy a man's outfit that would be best for the funeral, or gosh, look at all these women's black dresses.
Yeah,
Fine.
that's
I just
fair.
want to go home. And
Yeah, that sounds like Gussie to me.
Gussie's like, my hips are too wide to try and fit into these men pants and
These
working.
ninny men pants. Stupid.
So yeah, she'll wear her dress.
we post the art on in the public Discord or in the Instagram for
yeah.
anybody who wants to see the funeral outfits.
Yeah, we all made our funeral outfits. So we'll post that later if you're interested.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Mac or Sai feel about theirs, but
Oh. And if they want to, they can make one too. You do whatever you guys want.
If I have the time and the brain cells to rub together in the next 2 weeks, we'll see where that goes.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, we are going to take a 10-minute break, folks. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to us, to you, to everyone. Josh, are you there? Just want to make sure that we're not starting without you.
Yeah, Josh has to be here. This is the closest he's getting to death at the moment. It's a sad funeral where we're all very upset.
That's right. I'm upset.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I killed the guy off, so probably not.
I don't know if we need Josh here.
Just the single most likable character you've introduced yet. He had like no lines of dialogue, and then you killed him.
I
But
know.
that's fine.
I know. He was even nice in the afterlife.
Yeah, he seemed like a
He
chill.
was
Seriously.
happy?
He was chill as hell. He was cheerful. He was jovial. He had just like this real cool vibe coming off him.
And he was more worried about his friends that are still alive than he was his own soul.
What if he wanted to die? What if he was really into death cults?
Mm.
What if it was about wish fulfillment?
He's like, hell yeah. Make it cool though.
And really oblique.
Yeah,
I
make
need-
it fun.
I
And if
need
you're into
so many
suicide by cult, come join our Discord server.
Yeah.
Go to the about page, click on the link, join us for a talk.
Yeah.
You know, we'll talk
Or just
about
to say stop it, which is
you know, that's talking.
So are we going to the library before funeral? Was that our game plan?
I mean, we have time and no one's
We do.
hungover.
Yeah, we're
That's
oddly
true.
all okay.
Oddly enough,
one's
we're
dead or
all
hungover.
okay. Mr. Avery, I do appreciate your very kind allowing me to use your accommodations last night. I very much appreciate it.
You're always welcome. You put in a lot of work. Let me ask. How did he sound?
Good. Honestly, he sounded.
He was always very happy. Did he still sound happy?
Yeah, probably.
Patty, you think the
Most-
reason that you had to drink that much harder is that you really think that he,
Was on his way.
yeah.
Honestly, I think that I had to push as hard as I did because he was already most of the way where he needed to be. I think he's going to be just fine.
I'm glad to hear that at least. It might be a difficult day for me, and if your sister knew him, it'll be a difficult day for her as well.
Yeah, I expect as much. Still, if there's anything that I can do to assist either of you to get this business settled, then I will do it.
Is there any question for the keeper? Is there any drink left in any of the bottles that are laying around?
That Glenfiddich is gone.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The two of you polished it off.
That makes sense.
You both split half a bottle each.
Jesus. That's a lot of Glenfiddich, y'all. For anybody who doesn't drink, just know that's a lot of Glenfiddich.
A lot of scotch.
Scotch.
Scotchy, scotchy, scotch.
So in the library, oh yeah, we haven't met up yet.
We haven't yet. It is Patty's intention to go to her home, put on her, or at least get a bag with her funeral attire, and so that she doesn't also, like Gussie, have to take a pit stop to change before the funeral itself.
I think we could
but
come
aside
up with
from
a
that, yeah.
time that all of us get to the library where it
Oh,
accounts
I'm
for
sure.
that.
Yep.
I mean, if neither Ham nor Patty was hungover, I could see them maybe waking up around like 10-ish or so, which gives us some good leeway before 2 for the funeral.
Sounds good to me.
That'll work.
All right.
All right, y'all meet up at the New York Public Library again.
All right.
And Gussie's already in her funeral attire, so
Oh, yeah.
Patty feels vindicated.
Yeah, Gussie looks. It probably is
We're
a.
going to the library in like all black.
We're like
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going to a funeral, but we're here to learn first.
We wanted to look up some nice things to say for the service first.
Yeah, Gussie a little uncomfortable in the outfit, even though it's probably like kitten heels. She's like, "This is stupid."
Could have worn like
kitten
boots in, like under the dress. The dress will cover it up anyway.
Not in this era's style of dresses, my dude.
Yeah, but
It is a brutally cold January day, so you can get away
Oh,
with
that's
wearing
fair.
boots.
yeah,
That is
Um,
true.
little kitten heels still, nothing too.
Yeah, nothing crazy. But
Um,
like, it's more elevated than her work boots, which I think is still bullshit by Gussie's measure.
yeah, I feel incredibly tall, and how could I run away if I'm being chased by an abomination? Anyways,
You'll look fabulous doing it, sis. No sweat.
that does make me feel oddly better. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna go look at some newspapers.
Do it.
All right.
Go look at some newspapers. It's what
Please,
you do.
know, extra
What you
eyes
do.
is always helpful.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Everyone, let's do some librarying.
Library check.
Here I come, boys.
Library use. I have not checked that yet this game, so we'll see where that turns up.
Don't worry.
I did
Oh, well.
not get
Thank
it.
goodness
Oh, boy.
Gussie's here.
Thank God for Gussie.
I'm like, you do the slides like this, and
Yeah, so
Mhm,
Gussie, you end
mhm.
up grabbing piles of newspaper and handing it out to everyone because they can't seem to find, the appropriate time frames.
This is for
And
you.
Iori keeps wanting to look at scientific journals.
Naturally. It's just like he keeps like trying to focus on the task at hand, but then he sees they see another like fantastic work on some Amazonian flower, and off they go again.
I
Yeah.
mean, it might be relevant. We
Don't know.
Kenyan plants.
All right, so
Yeah, I imagine Avery just gets distracted learning about the local fauna and reminiscing about sizes of various trophies and such that have been taken there, and so kind of gets distracted from the actual task of what they're supposed to be researching.
So it takes you about 3 hours to get through the newspapers and find the relevant information. I have dropped the relevant articles into Discord.
Huzzah!
Oh, there's so
And if
many.
you guys want to take some turns reading them for folks?
Ooh,
Having literature
my.
class flashbacks.
I'm enjoying it, but
This
I
is-
was one of those weird kids who enjoyed those things.
By golly, I guess if we're going for it, let's go for it. Rapid fire. I'll start.
Hell yeah!
Big Apple Dateline. Roger Carlisle, the playboy whom everybody knows or knows about, is quietly leaving New York tomorrow. New York. I love
New
it.
York tomorrow to check out the tombs of Egypt.
You've seen the cuties Rogers found in the night spots. Who can doubt he'll dig up someone or something equally fabulous from the Egyptian sands?
They were really reaching for that.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, the articles, even though it was covered, even though the Carlisle Expedition was covered in all of the major ones, especially once it went south, it was more this tabloid type paper that really focused on him because he was a playboy in New York who spent a lot of money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why would somebody like that go on such a strange expedition?
Why indeed?
Well, I doubt he's having his extracurricular interests at the forefront.
Probably not, but who knows? Maybe he cults on weekends.
That's the assumption I would assume, is that he was definitely looking for something of note, and he's certainly not going to talk about it out loud.
Mm-mm. So, whether it was for work or for pleasure, nobody was going to question it either way. Interesting.
Wants to read the next one.
Where did we leave off?
We're doing it by article, so we're
Okay,
at the
I'm
second
sorry.
article.
I was helping my son with something.
Yeah, no,
didn't
I'm
hear
just
what-
telling
okay.
you.
It's all good. Second article is where we're
Oh,
at.
second article. All right. So
Yeah,
let's do my
Carlisle departs
1920s
Egypt.
newsreader. All right. Carlisle departs Egypt. Cairo, Associated Press. Sir R.B. Prenhew, temporary spokesman for the Carlisle Expedition, indicated Thursday that the leaders are tasking to ship to East Africa for well-earned rest. Sir Aubrey debunked rumors that the early expedition had discovered clues to the legendary wealth of the lost mines of King Solomon, maintaining that the party was going on safari in respite from sandy labors. Roger Carlisle, wealthy New York leader of the expedition, was unavailable for comment, still suffering from his recent sunstroke. Discussing the unfortunate incident, local experts declared Egypt entirely too hot for Anglo-Saxons at this time of year, and suggested that the young American had not been well served in his democratic enthusiasm, rumored to have led him to personally wield pick and shovel.
Why are people so tender? Sun's so hot.
Gussie's there. Like Gussie spent like 3 months
Gussie
in
just
Egypt
spent like
and
2 years in Egypt. Like,
She
okay,
did.
white people,
Like,
get it
You
together.
fucking white folk, man.
straight up like brow raising while reading this.
She's like, okay.
Snowflakes.
Yeah. Oh,
Looks like
She's
I
like- she's
posted
like,
these
wear a
articles
hat,
on the
drink
wrong
some
order,
water.
but oh well.
Drink water. Gosh.
God.
Oh, this
All
is in
right.
some sort of an order.
That's what I said. It looks like I posted them in the wrong order. Just these two.
Whoops.
Which
Oh, well.
order?
So number 3 should have been number 2, and number 2 should have been 3. But oh well.
Oh,
Okay,
well.
that's not so bad. So,
Uh,
I'll read the next one. Oh, that's
Go for
long.
it. Oh, well.
Carlisle Expedition embarks for London. Led by the fabulously wealthy playboy Roger Carlisle, the Carlisle Expedition departed this morning for Southampton aboard the British steamship Imperial Standard. Did we read something like Imperial? This ship name before? Anyway.
I'll take a peek backwards. You keep going.
Contrary to earlier reports, the expedition will perform researches in London under the auspices of Penhew Foundation before continuing to Egypt next month. Readers may recall the enormous party which Mr. Carlisle, now 24, gave, that's a young age, gave at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel upon reaching his majority. Since then, scandals and indelicate behavior have become Carlisle's trademark. But he has never become tarnished in the eyes of Manhattanites. Members of the expedition have been reluctant to reveal their purpose in Egypt. Other expedition members. Okay. Renowned Egyptologist Sir Aubrey Penhew is assistant leader of the team and in charge of excavations. Dr. Robert Houston, a fashionable Freudian psychologist, accompanies the expedition to pursue parallel researches into ancient pictograph. Why would a psychologist be into
Freudian
Miss-
psychologist.
A
That
Freudian.
must be a motherfucker.
Miss
Oh.
Hypatia Masters?
Find us on the Discord and tell us to stop.
That's all right. I quit the show.
Linked in the past to Carlisle will act as photographer and archivist. Mr. Zach Brady, intimate to Mr. Carlisle, accompanies the group as a general factotum.
Totem.
Additional members may be secured while in London. That's a lot.
I did want to say something just because there are notes that line up here. From the things we found earlier in the room, there is a card for the Penhew Foundation. So we have that for Edward Gavigan as the director and an address in London.
Yes. Which, I mean, if we wind up needing to go overseas, probably we'll have to charter through London.
We see we have a missive here dated 3rd of March 1919 to Mr. Carlisle from a Warren Bassart.
That's true.
And that
Something to
date is
cross-reference.
a couple months earlier than these articles are.
Huh. Interesting. Very interesting.
Who's
Okay.
next? I'm just cross-referencing.
I will take next. This comes from the New York Pillar, Repost, July 31st, 1919. Important visitors. Mombasa, Reuters. Leading members of an American archaeological expedition arrived here on holiday from digs in Egypt's Nile Valley. Our Undersecretary, Mr. Royston Whittington, held a welcoming dinner for them at Collingswood House, where the wit of Sir Aubrey Penhew, expedition co-leader, was much in evidence. Accompanying Sir Aubrey are the youthful financier Roger Carlisle and medical doctor Robert Houston, as well as socialite Miss Hypatia Masters. The party leaves inland today for Nairobi and hunting. Nairobi.
All right. Carlisle Expedition feared lost.
This is October 15th.
Mm-hmm. July, August, September, October. 3 months later. Mombasa. Uplands police representatives today asked for public assistance concerning the possible disappearance of the Carlisle expedition. No word of the party has been received in nearly 2 months. The group includes wealthy playboy, Roger Carlisle. See, now I can't drop it.
I'm sorry.
And 4 other American citizens, as well as Egyptologist Sir Aubrey Penhew of the United Kingdom. The expedition left Nairobi on August 3rd, ostensibly on safari, but rumor insisted that they actually were after legendary biblical treasures. Carlisle and his party purportedly intended to explore portions of the Great Rift Valley to the northwest of Nairobi. Side question to the keeper. Because Sir Aubrey Penhew is an Egyptologist, would I know anything interesting about him? I don't have to have it right now, but just would I know of him?
You know of the Penhew Foundation.
Okay.
They certainly sponsor a great deal of digs throughout Egypt as well as the Middle East.
Okay.
They are, from your perspective, they are a legitimate organization in that genuinely seeks to further the knowledge, further archaeology and anthropology.
All right. Who's next in our read circle?
Well, I'm not
Whoever's just
next up,
feeling
but
it.
if anybody's not feeling it, I'll jump in.
You can do
listen.
it.
Yeah, even if you just wanted to, I don't know how everybody else feels, but if you just wanted to push through the rest of these.
My time! Patty time now!
Oh, right. Have at it.
I'm fine with patty time. Go for it.
All right, so this comes from the New York Pillar Repost, March 11th, 1920. Erica Carlisle arrives in Africa, Mombasa, Reuters. In response to clues, Miss Erica Carlisle, sister to the American leader of the lost Carlisle Expedition, arrived in port today aboard the Egyptian vessel Fount of Life. Several Kikuyu villager reports recently have been received concerning the putative massacre of unnamed whites near the Aberdare forest. Aberdare? Miss Carlisle declared her intention to find her brother, regardless of the effort needed. She brought with her the nucleus of a large expedition, detailing agents to coordinate supply and other activities with colony representatives. Miss Carlisle and the remainder of her party depart for Nairobi tomorrow. Her companion, Mrs. Victoria Post, indirectly emphasized Miss Carlisle's purposefulness by recounting the rigors of the voyage. Victoria Post. That name rings a bell for some reason, but I might be thinking of someone else.
Oops. And 8 and 7 also are locked.
How dare!
I know.
So it should be Carlisle Massacre confirmed next, then.
Yes.
In May of 1920, followed by the one in June. I suppose that makes sense.
Somebody should fire this keeper. Get the fluffy one back.
Yeah, bring back the fluffy one.
All right, I'll read this one then.
Carl, yeah.
Go for it.
All right. So New York Pillar Post for Post, May 24th, 1920. Carlisle Massacre confirmed. Nairobi's Reuters. The massacre of the long-missing Carlisle Expedition was confirmed today by district police representatives. Roger Carlisle, New York's rollicking playboy, is counted among the dead. Authorities blame hostile Nandi tribesmen for the shocking murders. Remains of at least 24 expedition members and bearers are found in a remote found in a remote region of the Aberdare Forest. Continued on page 4. Erica Carlisle, Roger Carlisle's sister and apparent heiress to the Carlisle family fortune, led the dangerous search for her brother and his party. She credited Kikuyu tribesmen for the discovery, though police actually found the site. Among other expedition members believed lost are Sir Aubrey Penhew, noted Egyptologist, New York socialite Hypatia Masters, and Dr. Robert Houston. Is that Houston? Huston?
Houston.
Maybe.
Huston.
All right. Many bearers are reported dead. So you want to go ahead and take that last one then?
I could do that. Murderers hanged, Nairobi. 5 Nandi tribesmen, convicted ringleaders of the vicious Carlisle Expedition massacre, were executed this morning after a short, expertly conducted trial. To the end, the tribesmen steadfastly refused to reveal why they had slaughtered Mr. Carlisle and his companions. Mr. Harvis, acting for the colony, cleverly implied throughout the trial that the massacre was racial in motivation, and that the fair-skinned victims were subject to the most savage treatment, preventing all but the most preliminary identification of their remains. Miss Erica Carlisle, defeated in her efforts to rescue her brother, left several weeks ago, but is surely comforted now by the triumph of justice.
Well, according to Mr. Elias, this was a grievous injustice. If in fact these people lived.
Sorry,
I
I'm
mean,
looking
5
back.
men died instead.
I'm looking back at the letter that was addressed to Mr. Carlisle.
We might be able to Erica Carlisle, if she is around, she might be an important resource person to talk to.
Possibly, but I don't believe she'd take kindly to someone insinuating that her dead brother was not, in fact, massacred in Africa.
Or maybe she wants to hear that.
Perhaps, but I don't think it's something that we can assume out of hand. It might
Also
be
with no evidence besides that you spoke to a ghost.
I mean, there is that.
I'm always cautious when I hear short, expertly conducted trial conducted by colonial Britons in the territories of dark-skinned people. That's always a dead giveaway that justice has not been done, in fact.
Mm-hmm. I would trust our late friend Mr. Elias above any of the judges who probably conducted this trial.
Yes, we can think about this more after the funeral, perhaps. What
Mm.
time is it?
So
You have an hour to get to the funeral.
How far
Well,
away is it?
It's a 20-minute taxi ride.
Hmm.
But the thing is, if they aren't dead, either it's a covered up conspiracy that the sister is aware of and did something involved with, or that extra bodies were produced in some way that it could be identified incorrectly, or they were dead and now they're not.
If I know anything of British governors, and having spent a bit of time in British territory overseas, it's that they can be bought, and will do what they can to preserve their own reputations. If justice needed to appear to be done to appease this wealthy woman searching for her lost brother, and otherwise leads were not forthcoming, then to save face, maybe this is all a charade.
It wouldn't be shocking.
Very likely. But we don't have much to go on, and in as much as I trust, Elias, it is just a direction to think in and does not give us much besides later talking to his publisher.
I was just going to say, I think after the funeral, our next stop needs to be with Mr. Jonas.
I believe he'll be at the funeral.
I was thinking he probably would be too.
Set up the funeral, I believe.
Bound to be, yeah. Yes. Then definitely he's either going to be in attendance or he'll be somewhere close by, doubtless.
I'm going to say, so that we don't look
Boorish.
rude, is that we wait until after.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think that's for the best. And perhaps so that we also don't appear rude, perhaps we should make our way there soon. Was there anything else we wanted to look up while we were here?
I don't think there was.
I mean, I've got a couple of Mr. Elias's books at my apartment.
And it took us so long to look up these things that looking up anything else is going to make us late.
Yes. Yeah. I can always make my way back to the library another time. It isn't critical.
We should be there early and scope out
who else
any
is arriving.
people. Yes.
All right.
Let's look for folks moving in groups of 3, I suppose. Be a good place to start.
It was 4 dudes that stabbed
Was
him.
it 4?
I thought it was 4.
My brain could well be having a big old fart right now.
Mr. Keeper, how many men did I chase down a fire escape?
Was it 3 men or 4 men?
Ooh. Ah, boo. Fine.
I mean,
Gussie's like, there was 10 men.
I'm shocked that I remembered a number right for once in my life. This
You're not challenging somebody who's really good at it either, so. Yes, groups of 3. Good idea, everybody.
It was 3.
I don't believe it now. Now I'm suspicious. All right. Does anyone need to change or do something prior, or is everybody ready?
Powder my nose and I'm good to go.
Yeah, I believe Avery probably left the hotel dressed for the occasion at this point. So,
yeah.
You arrive at the Cypress Hills Cemetery, and turnout for Elias's funeral is very small. There are 2 men and a young lady besides yourself there. The priest is does his thing and asks if any of his friends would like to say anything about their memories of Elias prior to his passing.
Gussie certainly does not.
Fair enough.
He was a jovial fellow and brought joy to those around him.
Avery will step forward. So I've known this man here for a number of years. We weren't close acquaintances, but I'd always considered him a friend from the moment I met him. He was warm, welcoming, always in a good mood, despite the wretched nature of the things that he wrote about. The man was brave, insightful, wielded a pen in a way that I'd never seen anyone do before. Had a way with words, had a way with keeping your interest wrapped in whatever the subject he wrote about, and used his charm and charisma to infiltrate and to report on some of the worst people I've ever seen put to pen to paper. He made his way in and out and worked amongst, to do good, worse people than the worst villains I could ever imagine for my own works. He was a brave man. Bravery like that does not come every day, and the injustice of his life being taken will not go unanswered. I'll miss him. The world is a heavier place now with him gone. That's all Avery has got to say. He's just going to walk away from the procession or the proceedings.
You notice that the reporter is there, standing at a respectful distance. And you see that there is a group of 4 police officers also standing off at a respectful distance.
4, I told you.
4, I said.
I told you.
It's 4.
Naturally.
As everyone starts to wander off, one of the
We
men,
didn't-
both of the men approach you. One is a short, squat white man. He's balding, with the sides are these uncontrolled curls of graying red hair. And he's got glasses on, and the suit that he's wearing just doesn't look like it fits him, and he's uncomfortable wearing it. And he introduces himself, and he says, I'm sorry we're meeting under these circumstances. Jonah Kensington.
Jonah, excellent to make your acquaintance. And I agree, pity it couldn't have been under kinder circumstances.
Yes, Elias had prepared for me to do quite a bit of stuff, and I'm taking the rest of the day off. But Monday, stop by my offices and let's go over the rather prodigious amount of materials that Elias has left in my care.
Well, it will be an undertaking, but it was rather something that we had wanted to inquire with you about anyway, so we will certainly meet you on Monday. Would you prefer morning or afternoon?
Oh, first thing in the morning is fine.
Right.
As I said, I'm taking the rest of today off and the weekend. So, good day.
Perfectly sensible.
And he leaves.
Farewell.
The other individual introduces himself, and he says, I am Carlton Ramsey, and I'm asking Miss Gussie Miller and Avery for you to be present at the reading of Mr. Jackson's will.
Of course. When will that be?
He has I have arranged for it to be this coming Monday in the afternoon
All right.
at 1 o'clock at my offices. They are in Harlem at 124th Street and Lenox Avenue, and he hands you his business card.
All right. We'll be there then.
He says, it's hard to believe that I won't be hearing his chuckle anymore.
It is truly a tragedy.
No one quite like him, and I barely met him. I'm genuinely saddened that I couldn't have known him better.
Indeed. He looks at both of you. He says, "This is rather improper, but if you wish, we could just convene in my offices now and take care of the reading, as the entirety of his estate and everything that I have to say is just to the two of you."
My.
As he changed his will the morning of his death.
Dear me.
Avery, I'm not sure how you feel, but if I would be content finishing this today.
Can we make it later today? Can we make it this evening? Can we
If it's
head
not going
straight
to be
from...
during the normal business hours, it can wait till Monday. I have no need to push the grieving process faster than it needs to be. 1 p.m. Monday is fine.
Gussie,
unless you feel otherwise,
I've
just not...
stated, but if you aren't well enough, that's understandable, and I can wait.
Let us wait.
Yep.
Sensible, I think.
And the young lady follows him away. The reporter hangs out for a few more minutes and leaves.
Was the reporter by any chance wearing a note, like a lapel or anything that indicated what newspaper they were writing for?
It's Miss Schosenberg. It's
Yeah, I was
Oh, it
assuming
is
it was
Miss. Oh, it is the reporter. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Jessica.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's
You can
Miss
say
Schosenberg.
hi to
It's
her.
Friend
I'll be
Jessica.
like,
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
It is.
You can say hi to Rebecca.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, Rebecca. Bye,
And-
Rebecca.
Yeah, she doesn't approach you. She waits around, and when you haven't come to her, she nods and leaves.
Can I actually want to talk to her. But I'll drag Patty.
Sure.
Actually, and if any, and I'll signal the others as well if they want to join. Or maybe they're talking about the will at this point.
Yeah, so you walk up to Rebecca.
Miss Rebecca, it's good to see you here. You don't happen to know about have you heard anything about Carlisle or something? Went to an expedition to Africa. That was
Some
5
years
years
ago.
ago.
I don't know anything about that. Erica Carlisle is in charge of Carlisle Industries. She's done quite well for herself. There was talk that her brother was not doing so well, but with the business, but she has done an excellent job of turning around the fortunes of the company and is doing quite well.
Hmm.
Her offices are right here in New York.
Wow.
Oh. Do you know where here in New York?
It wouldn't take too much effort for me to find out, but not. I'm sure her offices are in Manhattan somewhere.
Do you know offhand if she would take appointments for not a social call, an interview perhaps?
Am I sensing a story?
I hesitate to say as much now. It could be nothing, and we certainly wouldn't want to waste your time and your valuable ink, but we'll be certain to let you know if things develop.
And by the way, I've managed to. It is a weekend, but if you're interested, I've managed to set up an appointment for us to go to Sing Sing on Sunday
Really?
to
Oh.
see Mr. Adams.
Most excellent. All right. That would allow us an opportunity to get a few questions out of the way. Could be very
Yes,
helpful.
I think that his story would be particularly interesting.
What about his story in particular do you think would be?
As I told you, I am not going to prejudice your thoughts with
Noted.
my own.
Of course, of course. It's a surprise then.
Okay. Well, I think we can meet you on Sunday. Where can we meet up?
Well, let us meet at the Ossining train station, say 8 o'clock in the morning Sunday.
That sounds good.
Very doable. Austin?
Yes.
One more question. Have you heard anything about this specific juju house? In what is that? Yes, that juju. I'll ask about that juju house.
I believe that is part of Hilton's story, and as I said, I do not wish to prejudice any of his story with things I've heard from him only.
Of course. Of course. If anything still seems unclear after we've spoken with him on Sunday, then I suppose you wouldn't be opposed to some friendly cross-questioning.
We can compare notes then.
That sounds sensible.
We'll have a 2-hour train ride to discuss.
Plenty of time.
Quite.
Fantastic.
You're all wrapping up your business, and you expected, or maybe you didn't expect, but the 4 uniformed police officers, after everyone has left, approach your group. And they are all tall, burly, white men. You see from their uniforms that they're from the 14th precinct, which is not this area. That is the area from Harlem. And they ask, so what is a group of fine, upstanding citizens such as yourselves doing in Harlem?
I hate to be so incredibly just blunt about it, but we were attending our friend's funeral.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yesterday.
Minding our own business.
Where are you now?
Precisely, I recommend you do the same. This is not a good day to question me as to what I'm doing in this city. I'm in no mood for the nonsense of some dime a dozen coppers on the street.
Please, officers, my friend is grieving the loss of his friend.
And
It's our high.
it is a mighty good thing that we take kindly to upstanding citizens, or we might have to remind him who wears the badge.
We are in no need of any reminders, sir. We understand. It's a bad day.
I think that whatever, reasons you had to go to Harlem, for whatever those reasons were, you should probably just stay away from now on. As your reasoning for being here in the city apparently is the death of your friend, and I think we've got an understanding, right?
I'm not actually sure we do. I'm sorry. I'm just a bit spotty, as you can see. We're all a bit frazzled. Is there a particular reason that we are not allowed to go about the city as normal citizens?
Certainly, as long as you truly do mind your own business.
I think that's doable.
Certainly.
Can't imagine we have any business in common with you.
Well, I'm glad to hear that we have an understanding. It would be unfortunate if accidents were to happen.
Move along, coppers.
And they turn around and leave.
I'm not sure if you're
Clearly.
interested in getting us arrested, Avery, or, antagonizing people.
I've seen a bunch of big men in uniforms before pushing their way around, using their office and position and things
They're
to get
able
their way.
to. Is the thing wrong or right?
This is the United States of America. They're not
make
able to do that here.
Actually, make an intelligence check.
Us two? Who?
Yeah, anyone. I mean,
Sure.
it's an idea roll. So.
I'm pretty smart.
I don't need to roll for that. Look at that.
I'm gonna use 2 luck. Fuck that. Oh, I
Yeah,
just
that's
pushed luck as
fair.
well, but I'm using 2 luck just so I'm not a big stupid idiot.
Like Patty is.
Yeah.
No.
I'll just
So,
7 luck.
slightly less.
It's fine.
So, it's not a big thing. All of you are very, very, well, Patty, not as much, but you've heard that a significant amount of New York police are affiliated with organized crime in some fashion.
I feel like Patty should have some kind of advantage on that, working in the theater and speakeasy circuit and dealing with.
Like
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people succeeded. We're okay.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
fine.
I should have mentioned at the time. Did I get a name or badge number or anything off any of those cops? We didn't recognize them as any of the cops from prior.
No, they
Because
showed
that
up.
was a
these
different
are
precinct.
specifically from the 14th precinct, which is
In Harlem.
in Harlem, which is not the folks that are running the murder investigation for Elias.
Just let me say my piece very quickly. I think those are shitty individuals. I think we're dealing with a lot of shitty individuals, and we gain nothing by behaving poorly in front of them. All we gain is their ire and their eye. I want neither while I'm trying to help my friend who has just recently passed, same as you. That's all.
I understand your position and your motivation, and I don't want to draw unwelcome attention to us as well, but I don't want to be told what to do by some
I
some
think
up-jumped thug.
I think it's clear that they might be hiding something. It has crossed my mind to look into Harlem, but if they are threatening people who might be, especially in their territory, I think it's possible that they are hiding something.
You think that big, tall, white cops in Harlem are doing anything but threatening people in their territory? That's their job. That's what they do.
That's why we need to play it close to the vest and not appear to be a threat.
And so long
Patty-
as we're smart about it, honestly, they can tell us whatever they want to tell us to do, just so long as we're smart about not necessarily doing per the word.
Patty, you might have God damn it. I don't know if you read Josh's comment. You might be
I didn't see the comment, so I have no idea what all these giggles are about. I wasn't there.
I'm apparently old and have no idea what it means.
Patty, you have access to
I mean, were you old like
some-
6-7 years ago? Because that's when that meant that
some
something.
of these networks that they might be involved in. Maybe that might be worth a check. If you can ask around, if there are rumors or something of the sort.
I could certainly do what I can. Yes.
Also, if we plan to go to Harlem anytime soon, we should probably have a bit of extra planning.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps an alibi.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody we
Reasons
could
to
use.
be there that isn't exactly, the obvious reason we're there.
Thing
We
is, all we did in Harlem was go shopping. We didn't do anything to ruffle anyone's feathers. I mean, are they just strictly looking for white people entering that part of town? Because we didn't do anything to draw attention. We went to a store.
Oh, no, they know
So,
damn well
period.
what's up is the thing. If
Yes.
First off, we are friends of Elias. That is apparent and has been made incredibly apparent for multiple reasons. And I'm sure the Juju House has already been involved in this, as we're going to hear in a story later. I think us going there just willy-nilly might have been incredibly stupid on our part, us just walking around, walking into places, which is obviously this is supposed to be, a bit more quiet. And I think we are a bit too brazen.
Well, we could, if we just ask around, we don't need to physically be there. You just need to know.
I've got a few
people.
friends who know their way around different neighborhoods. You sort of have to when you live on an apartment block away from your college campus. Got to know how to get places around the city. I've got a few friends in class. I could definitely inquire, see who I can turn up who might be able to lend us a hand, or at least tell anybody who asked that we were visiting with them if need be.
Is there anything else we needed to do today?
Need a drink.
I know that I wanted to take a look for a few more books from Mr. Elias's I blanked on the word. All the books he wrote.
Anthology.
Many book.
The many book.
You know how the man
book
write
of
many
Mr.
book.
Jackson Elias. Mr. Jackson Elias write many book.
I think that's a good idea. If there's nothing we all need to do, we do have plans for a few days from now. I'm just going to head back to my room and decompress.
Completely
that's
understandable. If
a good
anybody
idea.
if anyone wants to come back and tell some stories, have some drinks, I'd be thankful for the company. But otherwise, understand and keep yourself safe.
Of course, call me if anyone
I'm-
needs anything.
Sure.
So,
Keeper, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to the room and I'm going to read that big old book.
Oh no.
Which
you're
No,
gonna
big
no,
spend time on the big old
Uh-huh.
book.
no,
I'm going to
no.
spend time reading my big old book.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Finally, some downtime to read my book.
Oh, no.
I'm going to read that book.
No,
Read
no.
some book. Cause me crazies.
Yeah.
Gussie, no.
Me like how the book make my brain tingle.
Oh no.
It does. So, Patty, the highlight books. We have Skulls Along the River.
Hmm.
It's a book that discusses headhunter cults in the Amazon basin.
Not strictly relevant to what I'm investigating, but could have some tangential stuff that I can look at
There's
later.
Masters of the Black Arts. It surveys supposed sorceress cults throughout history. The Way of Terror. It analyzes the systemization of fear through cult organization.
I think that is one that Patty would have picked up right out of the gate when Gussie recommended it to her.
Yep.
I think she has that one.
Yep. The
or has
Smoking
checked it out or
Heart.
something.
The first half discusses historical Mayan death cults, and the second half is concerned with present-day Central American death cults. There is the Sons of Death, modern-day thuggies. Elias infiltrated a cult and wrote a book about it.
Wow.
There's
Impressive.
the Witch
Ballsy.
Cults of England. Summarizes covens in 9 English counties, interviewing practicing English witches. And the Black Power. It expands upon the Way of Terror and includes some material on Asian and African death cults, including interviews with anonymous cult leaders.
Ooh. That is definitely one that Patty is going to pick up and look into, just on the off chance that maybe it's got some details that could have relevance to the present investigation.
Sure. So, you get a hold of that book from the library, and you're going to spend some time just devouring it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yori, both Gussie and Patty have disappeared to bury their noses in books until Sunday.
I want to collect. Actually, I don't know if I don't have enough money for this, but I want to get a
If
microscope.
you need it, Patty will lend you money.
Yeah, all
I
of
mean,
your
I
friends
know-
are very
yeah,
rich. Is the
I
thing.
mean, I know
Apparently.
everyone's gonna lend me money, so
Yeah.
I want to put together a first aid kit and the forensics kit and a microscope, at least for now. Get more later on.
A forensics kit. So what kind of things are you looking at in this forensics kit?
Okay, so a blood typing kit.
Okay.
Something to get fingerprints. And I think a microscope. That would be it.
All right. So make a credit rating roll.
Oh gosh, can someone Rich,
can one of us
rich
help you?
friends can.
Rich
I
friends.
request.
Well, the credit rating
yeah.
roll is to see if you're able to acquire all of these items on your own. The microscope and the fingerprinting stuff being the more challenging.
I will
Like-
not. I'm not gonna. I'll ask for help from my
On a friend.
friends. Yeah.
That seems fair. Who do you call?
Who's the richest?
All right.
Actually, I'll tell everyone. Like, I'll tell everyone before we left. I need to put together a forensics kit, and a first aid kit. I didn't bring one. Well, I think I would have. I would be
The first
actually
aid
bringing
kit
a
would be a
first
basic
aid
one.
kit.
The first aid kit, no roll necessary.
Yeah, that's fine. Just a forensics kit, maybe, and a
Mm.
microscope.
But your microscope
Oh.
and blood typing and fingerprinting
Yeah.
stuff is going to require a credit rating roll because
Yeah, that's
More
that's-
expensive.
That's stuff that's a little outside the ordinary. So, not that it, if time wasn't of an essence, I wouldn't make it. They wouldn't even need to make a roll. This is just can they get it reasonably quickly?
Hmm.
I mean,
This
Gussie
is
has
for-
a 50 credit rating.
you can all
Yeah,
work together.
Avery just had a little success with his last novel, so he's a bit better than that. But
So both of
my
them,
credit
both of
rating,
them, you
yeah,
both
25.
can roll it. You're
Yeah.
pulling
Oh.
on your resources. This is, and you're welcome to spend luck if you want to.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Avery, you have a few people. You have a few friends that you're able to call in some favors on, and they're able to get you an actual FBI fingerprinting kit.
Ooh, fancy.
I mean,
This right here is top of the line.
we can collect samples at least. I don't have the I don't have a database to compare things, but yes, we can at least lift samples and analyze samples.
I
That's
I
the way
like
it's done
your
now.
I like the initiative you're taking here. This is not the way I would have addressed things, but I'm happy to help in whatever way I can. Glad to have you along, Mr. Yori.
I just think
What are you doing?
oh
It's the fluffy DM. Carry on.
All right, goodbye.
oh
He doesn't
it
want to
would
stay
be
today.
Hmm.
Actually, I think he wants to go play. So
it would be wiser to collect keep our own evidence, considering
Mhm.
how not very trustworthy the cops are, and
Mhm.
in order for these to be very useful, we'll need a database, but that's just a matter of finding the right contacts for access to the database.
Wouldn't it be a shame if somebody summoned the Wendigo at this 14th precinct? Like, I'm just Not just
Don't
saying,
know how
somebody
to
could have
summon
summoned a
one. I
Wendigo.
can just dismiss one. If
Well,
one
they-
shows up, you know
This
who
was
to
your
call.
choice. We could have
mean,
been messing
Yeah.
up the precinct with monsters.
we do have like a day or two. I mean,
I could learn how to summon a Wendigo in that time, but I'd rather not.
Like
Well,
they threatened us
except
once, and
that
we're
that
like, we
book
kill
is,
everybody.
that book is sitting back in Arkham in a mansion library.
Yeah, I stole my book. That belonged to me now. He can roll out of his house to come get me, which we know he won't.
Well, you know, he could always hire another group of plucky investigators to come hunt you down.
He'd be killing his best investigator because I'd fight. He'd be killing one of the top investigators.
Oh
Do it.
boy.
He's the best investigator in his company that he doesn't pay for.
Yeah, I'm the best. He doesn't pay me anymore, but that's okay.
I guess you love the work.
I'm a temp.
I mean, he did pay your hospital bill, but that's it.
He should have paid my fucking hospital bill.
After what he decided to throw us into with no preamble.
That son of a bitch. Gussie's mad again.
But it wasn't even the monster. that gutted you. So I don't know.
No, that's the worst part. She literally dodged every attack from that stupid monster and then got shot by a person with her blood. Anyway, I'm gonna go read a book and not talk to these guys for like multiple days unless they talk to me.
Yeah.
And
so
Patty's also
Avery-
gonna go read a book for a couple of days.
Avery, are you doing anything you want to accomplish before you guys go to Sing Sing?
Avery's gonna try and find a speakeasy. He doesn't necessarily want to be alone. Seeing that his friends all have things that they're trying to accomplish and aren't necessarily wanting to hang out with him specifically, he's gonna find a place to just be around people and drink. And he'll do a little writing while he does that, but he's gonna find a bar. That's the plan.
I mean, I'm sure
Alright.
Patty would be able to recommend one or two to him that are, well stocked, not often hit up by raids and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Patty, give me just an intelligence check.
Sure.
Straight. It's an idea roll. See if you.
I do it.
Perfect. You're able to You're able to give him a couple of speakeasies that he can go to, and you're able to bar hop and have a good time, Avery.
You even have a few to cruise between.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's,
sounds good. Like, yeah, this isn't partying time.
No.
He just
No,
wants
you're
to
able
tell
to-
stories. Like, I met Elias in Morocco. We had taken the boat over from Gibraltar. He was the only one that spoke English and Arabic, and he was able to help us out. That's where I met him. Like that's the kind of thing.
You find the one that you really like. It's in Brooklyn, and you have a good time. And with that, we're gonna call it a night. We will pick up the next time on our train ride to Sing Sing.
That's
On the
what you love
train
to
ride
hear.
to insanity.
Already fully on the crazy train, boys.
Oh yeah. Going.
No, you're gonna get us muted. You're gonna get us muted.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Crazy train. Anyway, talking of crazy things are getting pretty crazy on Mondays, aren't they?
Last Monday was all I can say was just a clusterfuck.
It surely was.
Basically, you put a whole party in a cage and they just go buck wild, and a dude misses a chunk of his arm.
Like
You're
you do.
interested in something a little different and you're looking for some Dungeons and Dragons. Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have On the Backs of Gods, which is a Norse mythology inspired D&D game. Currently, the party, as I said, is going buck wild. And we
Nobody
left off-
puts baby in the corner.
Yeah, no, the whole party just literally screaming for 2 hours. But I'm sure they'll get out of it just fine. They seem to be doing incredibly well for the situation. So if you're interested in that, check us out. And if you're interested in some more D&D, because hey, who has too much D&D in their life? Probably nobody.
Nobody.
On Tuesdays, we have the Legends of Theia, which is another D&D game, which is maybe a bit more lighthearted than On the Backs of Gods. And there's, maybe a bit more beer and pretzel, maybe a nice drink. I heard there's a bit of a mystery going on. If you want to check that out at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. And also Saturdays, because I've just taken over this announcement. It belongs to me now.
Jillian time.
It's me talk. Only me. Every Saturday, we have our spooky, scary horror Saturdays, and we alternate between Call of Cthulhu and Vampire the Masquerade. And next week is going to be Vampire the Masquerade. So if you're interested in maybe watching a bunch of vampires with shotguns kick in a door and see if they can rescue their friends who decided to go with a bunch of vampire cops, who knows? So yeah, you could join us then. If you go to our About section on our Twitch, that's where you can see sort of our lineup and the times. There's also a link to come check us out in the Discord. We are at Backs of Gods, or at Backs of Gods on, I'm so used to saying that one, at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter, but also we have at the Dice Cult on Instagram and Twitter, where you can keep up with announcements and art. And I think it's pretty cool shit, but that's just me personally.
There is that really lovely picture that you commissioned of our Cthulhu investigator.
Oh yeah, go check out the Instagram and you get to see all the pictures of our party, which is just us in outfits, because it's just us, but it's really cute and I love it. So yeah, definitely check it out. I'm gonna give it back to you, Kevin. I'm done.
Boom.
Here you go, man.
Right, so
Hey.
cool. We will see you all here in 2 weeks, and maybe I'll kill somebody eventually, Josh. So
Hell yeah.
I was just about to say thank you, Kevin,
already
but
did.
no.
I should have went insane. I should have done it. I have so much regret. I should have made the bubble.
Boy.
yeah. Good night, all.
Good night,
Thanks,
everybody.
Kevin.
Thank
Thanks,
you for
everybody.
joining us.